Today I have for you 2 illustrations and 2 stories about birds, because apparently these 2 birds actually hated me for some reason, and I wanted to make them into a little bit of a story illustration for you. And so here I go, telling you these 2 things that happened to me. So for your enjoyment, here we go. Hello, my friends, how are you? I hope that you feel very nice today, and if you're not, do not worry. I will tell you 2 stories that happened to me, and they were kind of meh in that moment, but they are sure fun to tell, so this will be funny, hopefully. Okay, the plan is I'm going to make the spit paint, and then I'm going to tell you all about it while drawing. So let's do that. And so here we go. The first story is about a swan that actually took me as a target and then put all of his bird hatred towards me. Okay, so you need to picture this. I'm at the lake. I'm very used to go to this lake, so I go a lot of times. I'm very used also to see the swans, so I'm not very scared about them. At this point, I was so little. I don't know, 10 maybe. I am there with my father, and so he's already in the water swimming. I'm trying to acclimate my body to the water because it was freezing, and so I was like standing there in the power pose, like waiting for I don't know, something, but the warmth of my body like going down so I could go inside of the water, okay? And so here I am, like posing, making a not very threatening pose, and I'm just standing there watching the horizon, watching my dad that is already in the water. And so I was just about to get into the water, and I see these 2 birds, okay, swans. They were a couple. Okay, so I saw them and I was like, okay, nothing very different from the usual because they are swans, and of course they will be here because it's a lake and so we can live all together, right? No, they thought very different. I don't know if they were a freshly new couple and the male swan wanted to demonstrate something to the female. I have no idea, but apparently this big fella looked right in front of me and began to like make himself very big. And so I was like, chill bro, I'm not a threat, I'm a child. And I was there, a non-threatening child, just trying to acclimate the body to the water because I want to swim and that's it. But this one had apparently other ideas that day, and so I was like, that swan is coming towards me with a very aggressive looking body, because you know that they put all the feathers up, they make themselves look very big like they usually do. And I was like, chill, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, you're not doing that to me. You see, I would totally understand that if they were babies around the couple of the swans. Usually they are very aggressive when they have them. But they were only 2 swans and no other little ducky swimming around. And so I was like, I'm no threat to you. Why are you doing this? But he was coming closer and closer and bigger. And I was like, what? I was not that afraid because, as I said, I was very used to have these kind of swans swimming around. So I was like, yeah, I'll just stay here. He'll get bored of me, I think. He did not. He came so near and I was like, do not touch me. But he was like going in there and I was like, no, I will not move, because if I do a big move, then he will be spooked, and so he will of course attack me. You would think that the swan would go for the most threatening person out of the 2, because I was a child, but my dad is a very big man, so you usually would think that the swan would go for the bigger one because he's a bigger threat in his eyes, right? No, he went for the baby, and that baby was me. And oh my god, I had such a bad experience with that particular swan. The lady swan was watching, like standing there, doing nothing. But the male one, oh, he was targeting me so badly that at one point he was like, I'm going to take this kid and I'm going to pinch them with my bajillion teeth, because oh my god, they have such small teeth. I discovered that in that exact moment, because before I thought that they didn't have anything, that they were like a flat kind of surface on the beak. No, no. Because oh my god, they are so pointy and you can feel them very much. And you say, how do you know that you can feel them very much? Well, that stupid swan decided that it would be a great idea to pinch my butt with his beak. And he did not go like light on me. He went like full chomp like that. And I felt every single teeth that he had. And I was like, why did you do that to me? Oh my god, I was just standing there being non-threatening to you, and he was like "Argh." And so at that point I just hushed him, and then my dad saw that and just came towards me, but the D was gone. Then this one, when he saw my dad, that of course it's bigger than me, he just went away to his lady. And so he pinched the child and went away. I have no idea what you wanted to demonstrate to that lady swan, but you know, pinching a child, seriously, that's not a big deal. You would have gone for the dad, but still, I am judging. So yeah, that was not a fun encounter with this swan. You know, I was not impressed, and I had a chomp kind of shape on the butt for like a few hours. It was not fun. Yeah, I didn't like that. But hey, look at the illustration. I made a very cutesy kind of looking swan with this crown that says evil boy, because this is it. This is literally it. A big swan with his angry pose and the crown, because he's the biggest meanie of the lake, of course. Still, I do not hate swans because they are actually very, very pretty. And so I accepted the fact that that particular swan didn't want this kid to be there. But I swam either way, so they went away. And so I got my swimming session either way, that he wanted or not. But the very fun thing about this illustration was that I just added a ton of things. And you can see here, I did, spoiler for the next one. This is the sketch that I did, and I just took this and put it into the Photoshop and just used this as the sketch, because I like the fact that you can have a lot of textures coming out if you just scan the paper and just paint over it, because at some point you can see that I have a few texture kind of things going on, especially in the water, and I actually love that. So yeah, this was good. And so yeah, you can see here that the illustration is a little bit like super wonky, but yeah, especially because the pink ink is running out, but I kind of like that effect. So this is the final illustration that came out of the swan incident. What do you think? I think that this is a very evil looking boy, very much indeed. But yeah, I'm still judging you quite a lot. But let's go to the next story, and I have another bird enemy, that is a seagull. A seagull is very much easy to have as an enemy because they are quite meany indeed, and they are ruthless, and they will do very bad things to you without any permission. No permission needed. So I have this, the skiets, It's this one. I did this. I was like, yeah, I'm going to put myself in it, because in the other one I didn't want to put me, but in this one it was needed. You can see already from the sketch that it was a very, very meaningful encounter, and it was a battle, life to death situation. Okay, listen. So the story begins at the seafront. I was very much hungry, so I took a slice of pizza to eat while we were going to the seafront. Very easy, very non-threatening situation usually, but for this day, the seagulls had other plans. I was enjoying quite a lot my pizza because my stomach was rumbling before, so you know that you are hungry when the stomach goes like blah 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 blah. So I was having that, and I was eating. I did literally 2 chomps in, and we were right at the beach, and I was looking at my friend because, you know, I was talking to her, and I felt at one moment these 2 bird feet landing onto my head, and I was like, what's happening? Apparently, this giant seagull, because it was not the small one, it was the giant one, the albatross-looking one. And this seagull tried to take my pizza away from me. And I was eating it, so I was not finished. And I still had quite a good half of this pizza, so I was still enjoying it quite a lot. And I was like this, and I felt the presence of this bird, and I was like, dude, like that. And this bird tried to get my pizza out of my hands. But, you know, you do not take a pizza from an Italian. That seagull made a very much big mistake, because that bird thought that he could take the food out of my hands. But no, I was too hungry, I was too Italian to have that pizza stolen from me, because I was holding it apparently too tight that this bird couldn't lift it. And so he tried, but I still got it. Like, the force that I had on the grip on that pizza was too much for that seagull. Too much. And I was like, I won, yes. And I took another bite. Not enough for that seagull, because he made the round up above me, and he tried a second time. Shock, pure shock. I was flabbergasted. This seagull did not try only once, but twice to take my pizza. And again, as a true Italian that I am, this pizza was not leaving my hand, and I was like holding it very tightly. And this seagull, even the second time, couldn't have a piece of it. Literally no piece was taken away that day from my pizza, and I could eat that thing whole. It was a very much like a wrestling game where like you wrestle but on the pizza. Is that a good analogy? I don't think so, but you know what I mean, right? And so I was like, this was a very good pizza. Like, I couldn't imagine where that beak of that seagull was before, because, you know, they love to go around the trash. And so I really hope that that seagull particularly didn't like the trash, but only liked pizzas, because but I ate it anyway, because that was a victory pizza. I do not care. I ate it all. Yeah, it was very, very good. You hear me, seagull? It was very good. And you had nothing. I had it all. Let me show you the final drawing. Okay, so this is it. This is the moment where that seagull tried to take my pizza. I actually did draw the pizza whole, but it wasn't like the full slice, but for the illustration's sake we will leave it at that. And so yeah, what do you think? Do you like this as an adaptation of my story? Because I think that was a horror story. Yeah. Did you like my 2 stories, and did you like my 2 illustrations about them? I really hope so. I'll go to the outro. Thank you for giving me your most precious coin, your time coin, and I will see you in the next video. Right? Bye bye. Woo.